Daddy.
Stephen Hester was Aeneas'
Daddy.
daddy. Would you like to say anything
Daddy.
else? Stephen,
Daddy.
yes. Stephen was my,
Daddy.
what I called him, my
Daddy.
knight in shining armor. There was like
Daddy.
all these different
Daddy.
things, you know, in life when you're like, who's going to be the person I marry? Who's going to, you know, be the father of my child? And then, so he was those things for me. You know, he was the you know, the answer to the riddle, or the answer to the unknown, all those questions I had kind of growing up. So, so that's kind of like the really kind of sensitive part for me, you know, just my knight in shining armor. And he came off that way. I was his damsel in distress. I thought I was his princess in the tower, but we clarified that because I said, am I your princess in the tower? He said, no, you're my damsel in distress. I said, I'm good with that. I like that, actually. So, yeah, he was just a wonderful person, and just a very solid individual. And if Steve told me he was going to do something, I could count on it, you know. And that was something that is hard. I in my experience, was hard to find. You know, if he said he was going to do something, that's what he was going to do. I could count on it. And he was a man to, you know, do the right thing, and he just had.
In distress.
And he had a call to duty, and
Daddy.
and he really.
Daddy. Daddy.
I don't think he could help himself.
Daddy. Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy.
You want to say something else? What's something Daddy liked?
Football.
Football. Which team?
Saints.
The Saints. And he was a funny guy, too. I had loads of different voices that he would do, or one-liners, or, you know, things from movies, and he'd work it into the regular conversation. So very, very,
Daddy.
I guess just witty.
Daddy.
I don't know about witty. It wasn't witty. He was funny, though. I think the department meant to him, really, it was like a calling for him. And so he like kind of found this place within that department. When I met him, which like I said, which was about 15 years already into his career, he was so solid of an individual, especially when I was exposed to him, like at the firehouses and whatnot, that when I asked about, you know, him fighting fires, you know, what do you like about it? And he just said, I like to fight fires. I like to go in. I like to put the fires out. That's what I like to do. And just a really solid, brave person, man, and who was skilled and knew what he was doing. And so he didn't have high levels of that type of fear, but he also noticed so many things. He had quite a memory, fantastic memory, and you know, was also actually really philosophical in certain things. And so, you know, in asking him about that, and you know, and I asked him, "Don't you want to move up in rank?" And he was like, "No, I like fighting fires. I like going in." But eventually, he got to a point where he did want to go up in rank, and for the city of New Orleans, after Katrina, they actually didn't have like many promotions. So once the department had put out the, you know, notification that there was going to be another captain's test, he totally went for it, and in the process of that, it was just opening, I think, up another place in him, because he was stepping into I think a position where he was even going to be more of a strength for the department, because he was a veteran firefighter and he was extremely good at what he did, and he wasn't scared, you know. And I think that so for him, I think it was he had a lot of pride in being a firefighter. And I think that really was very fulfilling for him, because, and it was really, I think for him as an individual, he didn't need accolades, he didn't need to be validated by others, but that validated him for himself, being a firefighter. And, that allowed him to be a good person, on this earth. And he knew it, but he didn't need anybody else to tell him that. So, and I think that's what made him a special firefighter, And as much as he would have this memory for details, just seeing, just for an instant, I feel like that was for the people that he came in contact with in these emergency situations, like that, he just brought skill and fearlessness to his job. And I think that once he became a captain, he was just really stepping into a better or a bigger role for himself, and it was gonna open up more doors for him that in the last 15, or more years, he didn't really visualize that. And then once he got back into, the training and the studying to become a captain, he realized how much more there was for him in the fire department. And so once he became captain, he already had a plan for becoming a chief. And the department had their eye on him as well, because naturally you need people to go up in rank. And so I think that for the department, he was a part of their future. They need the New Orleans Fire Department. Needed some skilled and veteran firefighters to move up and to help the new recruits and everything. And Steve was definitely going to be a part of that. Next, part, or that the evolution and the future of the New Orleans Fire Department is definitely going to be a part of that. So I think for him, all the hard work of fighting those fires and loving going in and being satisfied with that, and then when he realized there was more to it, it was just opening up this whole other beautiful place that he was going to be able to experience being a firefighter. If Steve decided that he wanted to do something, he was going to do whatever the steps that needed to be done to have that. When we were dating, and I think with our daughter coming along, I think that was one of the guiding forces in him deciding to move forth and becoming a captain. And so I would just like, I would like for people to know that, he was a man that, when he put his mind to something, he put everything he had into it. And doing the right thing was very important to him. And I think that those type of qualities are really hard to maintain. And I think he was a man that made it look easy. Yeah. So he may have had a knack for making hard things look easy.
Inside
nicely done.
Beautiful.
Very.